Like French fries. So it's like a fish fry with French
fish
fries.
And chips.
Are we doing fish and chips?
I think y'all are doing fish and chips.
Oh my gosh, I hope so.
You should.
Because then it is fries. I just thought it was like the fish was fried.
It's gonna be fish and Doritos.
Oh.
So fish and
Actually,
chips.
fries is a 5-letter F word, isn't it?
Fries, yeah. Yeah, it is.
Because it switches to an IE. That's annoying.
Well, oh well.
Yeah.
Our favorite F words, fish and fries.
Let me stop this right now. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Next Day podcast.
The next day on your discipleship journey.
I'm Chad.
I'm Christy.
And we're about to kick off with the band from the show.
And this is Pastor Preston.
Oh
yeah.
my
Hey.
gosh. Oh no. Oh no.
No, that's more of a Yesley thing. I don't know.
I'm going to just keep this bottle of Windex right by me. And when you
Just a
say
spray?
something ridiculous, I'm going to spray you with it.
Hey, that's our sponsor for the day. If somebody's talking inappropriately, spray them with Windex.
It works on everything.
Yeah, it does.
Wash your mouth out, sir.
No, we have Carl here. So, that was going to be my icebreaker, too, is what's your favorite F words?
Oh, my.
But-
Okay.
oh,
Can
well,
we
it's
move
gone.
on?
It's gone now.
Faith, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Phalanges.
Fellowship.
Oh, wait, that's PH.
That is.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Phantom.
Oh, stop that.
Phonics.
All right. Moving right along.
All right. Well, this is the Next Day podcast where we're going to be talking about the sermons you got to hear yesterday. We were actually able to meet in person. We had to adapt the week before. We kind of had a video version of the Next Day podcast, but it was actually 3 days before, but it went out that day. Anyways, I'm not going to
Time is a
myself.
weird construct.
It
It really is. But that was a pretty cool thing that we were able to do. But we didn't do an episode the next day because that panel that we did pretty much sufficed. But we're going to be talking about the sermons you got to hear yesterday. So you got to hear Christy in the Element, Carl at the West Campus, and you got to hear Preston at the Element.
Traditional.
I was looking at you. I was like, the Element.
The Element.
Elementary.
Yeah, traditional. So yesterday was a big day because it was our Chili Cookoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how many there's been, but I mean, it's been happening ever since I've gotten
Do
here.
you know? Do you know like what year
has
this
anyone told
was of
you?
the Chili Cookoff?
Oh, yeah. This was definitely one of the years.
Yeah.
It was.
More than
100%.
8, I'll say. So,
Right.
But yeah, Chili Cook-Off at both campuses, and this is something I look forward to. And man, the weather couldn't have been better. I mean, yes, it would have been nicer if we could have somehow been outside, but the nice cold weather just made you want that chili.
Yes.
you
Yes. We
crave
experienced it all Sunday morning in the Element.
Yeah,
You know,
there was-
I didn't take my coat off to preach. We had no heat in the building.
Someone said
Noise.
if there's ever a day, someone came up to me and said this, Christy, if there's ever a day for you to talk about fire and brimstone in your sermons, that was the day. And that always reminds me of like there's a Simpsons episode where there's no heat in their church and everyone's freezing, and then the pastor's going off on like talking about hell and fire, and Bart just goes, I'm there.
Oh, that sounds nice.
We talked about The Simpsons yesterday in church.
You did.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
We
a
brought up
good
the
thing.
episode where, like, the Australia episode.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Because we were talking about vacations, and somebody went on a vacation this past week, and they sent Jackie, our ministry assistant over at West Campus, a video of the toilet flushing.
Did it go in reverse?
It did.
Really?
I forgot what the effect. It's called the something effect, and it's like where depending on which
Jackie knows
hemisphere-
the name of the effect. I can't
Yeah.
remember what it is either.
Which hemisphere you're on, the toilet goes clockwise or counterclockwise.
I can't believe people notice that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever noticed that.
But the funny
Well,
thing,
I'm not usually in the southern hemisphere.
I guess that's
But the
true.
funny thing on The Simpsons is like the whole reason they went to Australia was like Bart really wanted to know if it did that. But when they go to the American embassy, he's like, "Oh, we could finally see the toilets." But then they're like, "No, to help combat homesickness, we had this machine to make sure the toilets." And it's like you flush it and the machine kicks on and the water goes the opposite way.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, Chili Cookoff was really good. Man, like how many teams in total do we have? Were there 10 at West?
There were 20 29 teams in all?
Total.
In
Yeah.
all? Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's a lot of chili.
That's
Between
a
the
lot
two
of chili.
campuses.
Yeah, between the two campuses, and I was full. Like my stomach was like.
Yeah, you were hurting.
I was just walking around the church. Oh,
Listen, I tried all of the chili at the Kingsland campus. We had like 18, I think is what we ended up with on the Kingsland campus.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried every single one. I prided myself on that.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like horribly, I was full, I felt,
You
but I wasn't
abstained from
miserable.
Fritos,
I
right?
did.
Yeah.
I abstained from the Fritos or any other like carbohydrate mix in.
Mm-hmm.
I did add cheese to most of the chili just because I love cheese. But I had 1 or 2 spoonfuls
yeah.
of each, like little like plastic spoonfuls of each one. I did a taste. There were some that I was like, oh my gosh, I want to come back for more. But by the end of the, Chili Cook-Off, I was like, I can't do another bite.
See, this is a tricky thing about chili cook-offs and only getting a taste, though. Like the Coke Pepsi challenge. Most people like just a sip of Pepsi more, but a whole can, it's too
Oh,
sweet.
that's
So
a
you
good-
like a whole
Yeah.
can of Coke more.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if the winner of a chili cook-off like this would have been different had you eaten a whole bowl or a cup
Because
even of chili.
Chad basically did. He walked
gosh.
around with his mug.
Had my St. Peter's mug, and I think I was wanting just the same amount they would give it to everybody, but they just felt, oh, we got to fill
We
this.
gotta
I'm like,
fill
no,
it
no,
up.
Please don't fill this.
How
'Cause
many did you get to try?
I tried every one of them except for one that ran out.
There was a reason we ordered 4-ounce cups for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch next year,
He's
everyone's
like-
going to walk around with mugs.
Yeah, you had like a 20-ounce mug.
Next year, you should get a St. Peter's espresso mug.
That's what I
There
should-
you go.
Yeah, a
We
St.
should-
Peter's shot glass.
Yeah.
And then we'll walk around with it.
It's
It's for the chili cook-off.
I'll take shots of chili. Oh, that's a good idea.
You'd walk around with like the necklace and you could like dip
Oh
it
my
in.
gosh.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all heard it here first. Everybody.
Yeah, next year's merch.
Yeah. But it was really good. It was a lot of fun. It always brings in, like, it's just fun and fellowship. I love hearing people share about their chilies. Several chilies, like, were made by children. Like, the children were like, oh, this is
Yeah.
my recipe. And it wasn't just, like, cute, like, the kid helped. It was like, no, the kid's like, no. The parents were like, no, they made it.
My
Yeah.
son was very proud of his chili he made.
Nice.
Wesley was
Oh.
telling everybody exactly how to make it. He was selling it. I thought his cuteness was going to win him the prize. It did not quite. But
Okay, hold on.
yeah.
We do have to say this on the podcast. What was the carbohydrate that you offered to go along with your chili? Did you have it?
Spaghetti.
Yeah.
I just don't
Okay,
understand.
I was introduced to Cincinnati chili like a couple of years ago, and it was great. It tasted wonderful.
So the thing is,
Right.
Cincinnati chili is not a Mexican-style chili. It's not like chili con carne. It was invented by Greek immigrants to Cincinnati in the mid-1900s, around 1940 after World War II. And so it's much more of a bolognese. So if you think of it like that,
Okay,
you're like, oh,
I could see that.
I get it
Bologna.
now.
Bologna.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. More like a bologna.
I loved
And then you
tasting
throw
all the
tons of cheese
different-
on top of it.
We didn't reserve the chili this year, did we? For the pastor's
I kept hearing
taste off.
We saved our chili. Did y'all not get your chili?
I don't know if we did.
I
I didn't hear
Tune in
anything.
next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, because I was like, man, if we don't do the tasting on Monday, I'm not going to get to do it because I'm going to be gone.
That would be sad.
I would be very sad.
Yeah.
I was working on my Cancun bod with,
See,
with all the
A
chili.
Cancun vibe with the chili.
I'll be interested to retry our judges winner because one of the things the judges winner had for it, and I don't know if they were able to pack up any, is Megan Clanahan, who won, had little miniature corn muffins for every single one that she put butter on.
Oh.
And oh my word, they were so good.
She buttered you up for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had one with like little bread bowls.
Yes,
and
they had a
everything,
bread bowl.
So that was good.
The
And
Aloha one.
And I love one that was they had a Valentine's themed, but not only was she her chili great, but she was also giving out samples of the new Girl Scout cookies.
Yes, I
that
saw
were coming out.
that.
I was like, yes.
And I was like, when did they start selling? She was like, February 7th. I was like, that's my birthday.
She is hustling. She's
I think I'll buy myself a box of Girl Scout cookies for my birthday.
So much hustle.
That was great. But yeah, so Chili Cookoff was great. And again, all the proceeds and all that go to our international missions, whether that's Jamaica and other upcoming events as well. So we're looking forward to that. But yeah, well, let's get to our icebreaker. Did y'all come up with one, or I have one?
Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Oh, no. All right.
Oh yeah, I guess that could.
You don't like the Super Bowl?
Oh, I've got one.
Do you?
Because you're going to love this.
Uh-oh.
Favorite Winter Olympics
Oh,
sport.
yes.
Because that starts on February 6th.
I always try to think of Grammys last
Friday
night. I was trying
night.
to think of something
Oh, the
music.
Grammys.
But I
That's
like
right.
I like the Winter Olympics.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to hold up with the Grammys, except I didn't watch if K-pop Demon Hunters, if they won.
No, they didn't. At
Aw.
least not Song of the Year, but it was cool to see that here's all these people and they're like them in their music video, and then here's a scene from a movie.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, oh, that's so cool.
It was
Steven Spielberg completed his EGOT.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Which I could do that too, but no, not really. But all right, favorite
Winter.
Olympic winter. I was going to
Winter
say
Olympics.
midwinter.
Midwinter. It's very youth
Yeah.
pastor vibes.
Very favorite Olympic event for the Winter Olympiad. I have several, but like my absolute favorite. I mean, I do like to watch the biathlon. I do, especially the one where they have to do the penalty lap if they miss a target, because that's where I've watched it before. Someone's leading the race, but then they miss one shot and they end up like in last place, and the person who is in the mid card jumped up to the front just because they hit all their. Anything can happen. So I do like that, but my favorite is short track speed skating. Because it's just the size of a hockey rink.
And it goes so slow for like 10 laps.
Depending on which one, because you're just looking at, and they just look like they're going for a leisurely stroll, right? They're just like, you're like, what is this? And it's all about strategy, because some people can just take off if they want. Others kind of control their energy. But then once it gets to the last like 5 laps, it gets crazy. It's non-contact, but man, there's plenty of contact where they're bumping into each other.
Plenty of slippage.
Yeah, so it's I really love the short track speed skating. It's my favorite.
I think my top has to be figure skating. Just I love the creativity, and it's probably like for me, there's so much emotion and passion in it because it's such an art. I could watch that just like mesmerized by it for hours.
You know what I'm more mesmerized by is ice dancing. Like ice dancing, like that event, because they don't do the triple axels and the big, but the way, because it's always like a couple doing it. But man, like it's so like you're mesmerized just watching how close they are. Their skates are like inches apart from each other.
They're very like one movement.
It's so fun to watch ice dancing. Yeah.
I think for me, it's either hockey or it's curling.
Yeah.
And I love the curling because it looks like just a bunch of dads who hang out in the garage decided to become Olympians for the weekend.
And that's who they are. Yeah.
They're like dads who coach hockey on the weekends. And they're all like, why don't we go and be in the Olympics, eh?
Yeah.
They're also like, they're just like, especially it doesn't matter which language they speak. You just they're just screaming at each other.
They all speak the same language.
Yeah. That's one of those sports where my swim coach, he always hated on any sort of sport where you could drink beer and smoke cigarettes and be at the prime of your athleticism. So it's like, that's what curling is. It's like you could do all that and you're like, you could be the best curler in the world. And it's like, yeah. I
mean, growing up in Ohio, I had a lot of teachers who were Canadian, and they would talk about like, yeah, we just go down to the ice rink on Friday night and we go curling. They love it.
Yeah.
Like this, it's the best thing ever.
I don't even know where to go. I know there's some sort of a club in Houston somewhere, but I don't even know.
I feel like that's very Happy Gilmore. Just...
Yeah.
That would be a great Adam Sandler movie.
It would.
And of course, it'd be like someone's like a custodian and they're used to sweeping and they go, oh, you got to come in. And
yeah.
like, shh.
We've We've written a movie. Adam Sandler, get him on the phone.
It's either that or Will Ferrell. He does all those type of movies too.
He did do that great figure skating movie.
Yeah, Blades of Glory.
Blades of Glory, that's right.
That is good. Well, we hope you are looking forward to the Winter Olympics. The opening ceremonies are on Friday. So, yeah.
Yep.
So
February
it's going to be,
6th.
hopefully you can watch it where you are, Christy. Maybe
Yes,
are people going to be
maybe.
rooting for Mexico where you are?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, no, the whole world ends up
Yeah.
at Mexico resorts. So, I mean, people are there from all over the place. That will be kind of cool.
Are you going to
Maybe they'll
chant
do
USA
something.
on Friday night? Be all like, USA.
USA.
Because Christy's going on vacay.
Someone
and
just,
she's
I
going
just
to
hear footsteps and then I'm
Mexico.
tackled.
Yeah.
I'm not always a patriotic person, but during the Olympics,
Yeah.
Come on.
I just root for any. I don't know. I just enjoy watching it because most of the time USA is not going to stand a chance. And
It's like this. It's like the Super Bowl. I'm gonna root for the home team as close to the home team as I can, until they're out.
And-
My team, and then it's like, all right, I'll go with whatever Texas team is in.
And last little tidbit here, because I just learned there's actually a new event at the Winter Olympics this year, and
the
it's
skiing uphill.
skiing, mountaineering, or ski-mo.
So cool.
It's like a combination of cross-country skiing, which is kind of flatland, downhill skiing, which downhill, and uphill skiing. They have to go uphill with their skis, and
And
they
then
have
when
special
yeah.
equipment, and sometimes they have to take their skis off and run up
Yeah.
a mountain.
In their ski boots.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. That seems interesting.
It's going to be
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah.
A
So
new
excited
sport.
for this.
So, and I don't know. That's one of those things that Norway
I heard Ray Gun
is
was
going to
be in
good.
it. I heard Ray Gun was going to be in it.
Oh, yeah, from Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the, yeah. anyways.
Well, very exciting. Very exciting times.
Oh, yeah, they gotta do Winter Olympic breakdancing.
On ice.
Yes.
Ice breakdancing.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Amazing. You get skates for your hands.
I don't think people want to hear ice and
They,
break in the same
they
sentence.
could call it icebreakers.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Hey-o!
Oh,
All right.
Give me
well,
that Windex.
Yeah. She deserves the Windex. Well, let's get on to talking about the sermons as we are talking about flippity flip.
Flippity flip on
We're
the
still
script.
in our flippity flippity script.
the scribbity script.
Yeah, we're still talking about flipping the script series as we're just looking at different ways in our faith in which God flips the script. And we're kind of in where we see the world today and what we see is what's normal and how we should do things. But what we see in Scripture and how we see God reacts and and how God acts and everything, it flips the script on how we do things and how we should feel about things and all that. So this has been a really good series as we've been covering some interesting stuff. And so this week we are talking about, was it from fear?
From fear to faith.
Fear to
Yeah.
faith. Oh, I like the
Yes.
alliteration there. I'm sure Christy came up with that.
I
And-
did not.
Oh, okay.
She did.
Fear to faith, and of course, it wouldn't be a sermon without Christy talking about gardening. And
Of
I just know that
course.
this was her favorite thing ever because she got to talk about gardening and she got to say Shamba Ya Amani in her sermon.
All
and
in
I just know
one.
she was like, "Yes, this is the greatest day ever." If
Yeah.
only she could talk about K-pop Demon Hunter in there at the same time.
That was in the first draft.
Yeah. But what can y'all tell us about the scriptures from Isaiah, and what can y'all tell us about that?
Well, in Isaiah, I think like it was said, at least in my sermon, I don't know, Carl, if you mentioned, but this was, Isaiah's broken up into 3 different,
Pots.
yes, pots. Sort of like segments, I guess. And so first Isaiah, second Isaiah, and third Isaiah, which is like, obviously it's not marked that way in your Bible, but it spans so much time. And you see like this prophecy sort of go through this evolution of, Israel being told that they're going to go into exile. There's a lot of very strong and language of judgment from God to the Israelites in the beginning. And then once you get into quite a bit into second Isaiah and third Isaiah, it moves to like what is called oftentimes the comfort scriptures, where there's a lot of like, comfort my people. Now tell them like now that they're in exile, that they will be brought out of exile again. This is not the end. I have not forgotten my people, all of that over and over. So this is in 2nd Isaiah, and in that like beginning sort of into that comfort portion, which is really between like chapters 40 and 51 is really like, where it's the bulk of that comfort. So that's where we are in the context of Isaiah, which like, if you're in exile, like putting ourselves in the headspace of the Israelites in exile, like it was a fearful time, like, will we ever be able to go home? Like, has God forgotten us? Have we totally been forsaken here? There's just a lot of like questions and fear in a time like that.
Yeah.
Carl, what about you? Where did you plant yourself? Plant yourself. Look at me with all the puns today.
I'm very impressed.
Thanks.
I talked all about that.
Great.
In fact, if you listen to them, they're identical. Exact words.
We compared notes,
everything.
Actually,
I copied.
Did you go to Isaiah 43? Did you?
No, I didn't jump to Isaiah 43.
Okay.
We were in Isaiah 41 the whole time. We touched on Jeremiah a little bit. And the idea of it was like, y'all got to figure out how to live where you are for a while. Like I think people, as they make their way into Babylon and in Isaiah, they're probably praying for deliverance. Like, God, can you pull us out of this? I almost remember like the beginning of COVID, where we were certain that like we would be back in church by Palm Sunday. What many of us didn't realize is that it was going to be Palm Sunday of 2021.
Right.
I mean, we just had no idea.
Like at the church I was at, that was the first Sunday they did no masking at that church.
Yeah.
For people who were vaccinated, was Palm Sunday of 21.
Oh wow.
And so I mean, it was a long time, and
that was like
we had
the
to learn
opening of West Campus too, right? Was Palm Sunday? Yeah,
it was.
And there were masks.
And probably plenty of people still had masks on. Yeah. And there was, I mean, I think for a lot of us, we were hoping for deliverance at that point, but a large piece of the idea here is that God is not going to deliver you from this place, but God's going to transform the unusable barrenness of this place that you're stuck in now and make you fruitful. Change, like, not the situation that you're in necessarily, or give you a new situation, but change the situation you're in. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
No, and that's such a, again, I think we've talked about this plenty of times, even on the podcast and our sermons. But yeah, this whole idea that this isn't just going to be a quick fix, and like no matter, and I know Christy, in your sermon, I know you stress this a lot, is that no matter what situation you're in, you can still thrive. You can still grow. You can still. It stinks being in exile. You're away from your home. This is terrible, but you can still honor God in these moments. And I think that's what the prophets and all that we're really trying to stress is, like, still care for the hungry and the needy, care for the widows, and like, don't neglect those things. Right. Still be there.
Well, and also, like, it wasn't in this part of the passage, but in a lot of the prophetic text to the Israelites within their exile, it's like, plant gardens, have children, continue to grow and live and thrive.
Jeremiah, I pulled out that verse.
Keep calm and carry on. Like, it's like, just keep going.
Right. Like, continue to live and thrive and know that God is at work. Like, don't just pause, and just wait around for you to be able to get out of this situation. This is the situation, and God is still at work here. And, like, you still get to have a part of your redemption within this exile. You still get to have a part in this, sitting off and waiting on the side for, like, okay, God, waiting for you. I mean, like, God does not, we don't work that way with God. God has always called us into partnership. It has always been, sometimes it's, hey, wait, because I'm at work doing something. But it's like, you get to have a part of this. And sometimes it is be still, right? But that's usually for, like, our anxiety or our, like, toiling and causing destruction and trying to, like, do more and more when what we really need to do is turn towards God, right? But, like, most of the time God is like calling us into the work, into the partnership, you know, and not to just sit by and wait.
And going back to the pandemic, I've had this conversation.
We're not going back there.
Don't speak that into existence.
No, but here's some of the, I mean, looking back at some of the good things that I noticed, because I've had this conversation with other youth leaders. I've had this conversation. Actually, it came up yesterday for a bit with some students. But like, our response to that, some places, some churches, and I know some student ministries where whenever they couldn't meet, they essentially just stopped doing anything.
Yeah.
They just, no, we're just going to wait. And they just did that. What I saw, you know, and it wasn't just our church, it was other churches too. But it was like, oh, dang, like this stinks. We can't meet for Sunday morning like this. Well, how about we do this? And I know for student ministry, we're like, hey, let's try out this whole Zoom thing. Let's learn all this. And we met with students more times in a week than we ever did in person. We met regularly, and then we would meet in parks. And we'd meet outside.
Or like VBS. It was like, hey, come pick up a kit. These are things you can do at home with your family. You know, it was like we still had Vacation Bible School, and everyone became like video editors on top of their other ministry jobs. You know, it's like there were so many things that, you know, people had to do and had to like think outside of the box. And I feel like in a lot of ways, that's what the prophets are telling Israel is like, this is outside of the box thinking, you know, like you're still God's people, even within exile. It wasn't because you were within the promised land that you are God's people. It's not a location thing. It's that you as a person, you as a people are God's people.
And I know there's probably stories out there of like right now in some countries who are facing war, and it may not be safe for them to meet in churches, but I guarantee you they're meeting somewhere. They're meeting and they're still being the church and they're helping each other. And so it's just that kind of mentality here of, because and Chrissy, one of your things, you said this scripture brings beauty into a time of darkness. And I just kind of like that idea because it really was a dark time, but we can find beauty in it. Just like we've shared before, like funerals and all that. It's very sad, but there's a beauty of community coming together to comfort and love one another.
I mean, and I think you know, I tied in Shamba.
Shamba ya Amani.
Yes. You know, which really was it was such a perfect tie-in when I like had read the scriptures.
And those pictures, by the way. So Christy, she shared pictures of here's kind of before and after. And I've been out there before. Now I've been out there for the after. So I've seen the garden. I remember them trying to tell me what it was like before, but you were just saying it's kind of a dumping ground. It just wasn't much there. It just kind of looked like one of those blank fields that you're just kind of like, there's nothing really.
I said wasteland probably like 25 times in my sermon yesterday. It was a wasteland.
But those before and after, because not only the angle of the camera was like perfect, like because it really did look like
it was you could see it.
And but I heard gasps. I heard people in the congregation go, oh wow, whoa, like, they were like really amazed by like seeing what could happen to this,
and that was 5 years later. You know, like that took a lot of growing. It took a lot of patience and time. It wasn't instantaneous, you know, and that was like after they had to pull all the trash out of there, you know, and make the ground ready to be cultivated into the beautiful garden that it is today. But the refugee women, I had talked to my friend Jenny, who's a pastor in the United Methodist Church, but she is the executive director of FAM now, and which is the nonprofit that Shamba Yamani is a.
I was waiting for you to look for an excuse to say it again. Is one of the oh my gosh, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, programs that they have as part of their nonprofit. And, and I was like, I don't want to superimpose my emotions and my my ideals of like what it would be like to be a refugee coming to America and feeling like it's an exile. And she was like, I think that's fair in a lot of ways, to say that. But the thing that's different is that they probably will never go back. Yeah.
Like these refugee women are not, it's not just for a time. And, you know, it's also, it was a choice for them to leave. It was like, they knew that this was the best thing for their family, you know, for them to come here. And so it's not quite the same, but it still is like you're away from your homeland. Things are so different. It's hard, you know, it's hard to live here. They don't speak the same language. You know, they're having to relearn so many things and try to not lose the things in their culture that make them who they are. Right. And so that's where like Shamba became just such this gift, because they were able to have a piece of borrowed land. And I love that that concept too, that Shamba is not on owned land by FAM. Like FAM does not own that property. It is borrowed by Alief ISD, who was like, we're not using it. You can borrow it. So in the sense of like, you know, the Israelites are in borrowed land, kind of, you know.
There's a school right across the street, and I'm sure it just makes it look way nicer.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, and it's crazy to be there.
Yeah.
And like, you're in this area in Alief that like, you know, it's like Houston. It's kind of like meh, like most of Houston, right?
Not like Katy, though.
Not like Katy.
Not like Fulshire.
No. Yeah. But there's just like, it's a lot of concrete, you know, all that stuff. And then you go into, you know, Shamba, and it's like this thriving garden. I mean, it's so cool. And Alief has a community garden that's right next door. So they have a lot of partnership there. You know, so it's just become like this thriving part of the community on this borrowed land that is run by these refugee women. There's so much goodness that is cultivated there. And it's like, it's become a blessing to our community, which I think like looking at our mission partners and ministry that way, that it's like, we haven't stripped, you know, these women of their culture and tried to have them like adapt to our culture, right? But we've empowered them to bring their culture into ours, and, you know, and it's making the community thrive. Like that's beautiful partnership right there. I love Shamba for that reason. And the way that God is using these women in the midst of what, you know, might seem like a wilderness season, that they've, you know, that is being transformed, right? Like within the wilderness, maybe is what it seemed at first. They found community and purpose, and, you know, it's really amazing.
Carl,
God?
would you like?
God?
No.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
No. Yeah, no, that was really cool. Carl, was there anything in your sermon, like any illustrations or anything that you shared to kind of help tie this all together?
Yeah, so I talked about when I was a kid and I went on vacation to the lakeshore of Michigan, you know. Ooh. Very, very exotic. It's almost as cool as Cancun, right?
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, almost.
Nicer. Way nicer.
Way nicer. The water's much fresher.
Especially this time of year. This time of year.
No, me and a friend, we walked from like a visitor center near the lakeshore over this place called Sleeping Bear Dunes, which, like, if you're in Sleeping Bear Dunes, it feels like you're in another, like, country. Like, you feel like you're in the Sahara Desert. There's like 450-foot tall dunes, like out in the middle of Michigan, like sand, and you're like, what is this place? And we decided to walk from like the visitor center all the way to Lake Michigan and back. And on paper, it only looks like a mile and a half, until you learn that, like, there's a hill and another hill and another hill, and they're all made out of sand.
Yeah. Because on the map, but walking up and down.
Yeah,
and just those little
and
bit
me
of
growing
extra
up in
feet.
Ohio and him growing up in Eastern Maryland, we had no idea like elevation changes happen. So like we're on our way back and we're thirsty and we're tired and we had no idea. Like we were ready for God to deliver us back to the visitor center. Like we're begging for deliverance at this point.
At one point, someone fall on the ground going, "Just go without me."
I was about there.
Just go.
Save yourself.
No, we ended up being like helped out by some people walking by. It was like the early 2000s. So it was the first time I'd ever seen somebody with a Camelback backpack.
Oh yeah.
We're like, can we have something to drink, please? And how much further is this place? And they're like, well, it's a lot further. But we had just enough water. We had just enough to drink. We knew what the path forward looked like suddenly. And so it's kind of like the soil shifted, the soil changed. And that was excellent. The other thing we looked at in our lesson was a little bit of gardening. We looked at the trees in the story and like how the cypress tree typically grows in like colder mountainous regions, and the acacia grows in like hot regions. And so these are things that shouldn't grow together typically. Like they can, but they don't typically grow together. Well, like a few years ago in Israel, they decided to try growing them together in the Negev desert, along with myrtle and olive. And they found that like all four of them together was kind of like when you do beans, corns, and squash here in America.
Their
like
companion
the three
plants.
sisters. They ended up being like companion plants.
Oh,
wow.
The acacia made it cool enough so that the cypress could start to grow. And like the olive made it to where the acacia could have like strong roots to stop the erosion around.
Wow.
To be underneath of there. And the myrtle was able to give like a middle range to the canopy that was there. And the cypress was able to grow up after that.
Do the trees know this?
Well, it was
so bad.
I think
like
the
wild
creator
because
knows
like native beetles and like earthworms started to show up in this this terrain that was basically 70% of it was unusable, and like animals started to come back to the area. It was like this crazy thing.
Oh my gosh,
and
it's
these trees that are in this scripture, like in 41:19, that don't sound like they should be there together. And you have these Judeans moving in with the Babylonians, two things that don't seem like they should work together. And God basically says, I'm going to make it happen.
And that like speaks to
provide good soil.
The prophetic nature of this scripture, right? That like, I remember my Old Testament professor saying like prophecy doesn't really have an expiration. Like it keeps going on, and the fulfillment.
It's just the truth. Yeah.
Right. The fulfillment of prophecy, births new things, right? So it continues on and on and on. But like, it reminds me so much of like the way God is saying, I'm going to bring everything together, right? From like the four corners of the earth, like I'm going to bring it all together, and all of it is going to be home, and all of it is going to be my people. And, just speaking of like what the gospel will go on to show us, like that's so cool. I love that.
I'm going to go plant a palm tree and like some sort of a fir tree right next to each other.
And an oak.
And just see what happens.
I love that.
No, that's really cool. I don't think I ever knew that. It is interesting because when I was
They're
reading
very
the
specific,
scripture,
right?
the trees, they were saying these specific types of trees.
Yeah, I didn't follow that thread, but that is so cool. I love that.
Yeah. I'm sure they went out on a limb and they tried it and it worked out. So,
I like it. That's good. Get a Windex.
Windex.
All right. Well, this was a really good, another good sermon for flippity flip.
Flipping the script.
The
scrippity script.
Flippity scribbity.
Next week, the last one of this series. Is that right?
I
believe
there's two more.
There's
two
more.
Yeah, two more, and then it's See Wow.
And then we get to our See Wow. Then we get into our Lenten series. Okay,
that's
so
right.
that's all coming up here soon.
We'll talk more about gardening.
Yes,
we will talk about.
Gosh.
It's not going to be all
Chad's like,
gardening.
give me that Windex.
If there's like a brainstorm wall, like a whole whiteboard of just ideas for sermon series, and almost half of it's just about plants and
It's just
gardening.
ivy growing up the whiteboard at this point.
It's just like, Christy, can we change? No, this is good.
No,
this is good.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to talk about eating, and we're going to talk about gardening.
Okay, we did our rest of the year sermon series planning.
We did
last week. I didn't mention gardening once.
Did you? How many times did you mention K-pop Demon Hunters?
None. I didn't. I have witnesses.
Yes.
Oh no! But
we did think about fun puns. So
yes,
I'm excited.
Oh yeah,
we did.
There's gonna be some good ones.
Yeah.
I'm looking. Just to put the teaser out there. I'm looking forward to October.
October will be great.
Of our stories.
I'm also
October's
looking forward to
gonna
getting
be-
our acts together.
Yes.
Oh
The act
yeah,
study. So
That is
funny.
gonna be
lots
good.
of good series coming up. But yeah, so stay tuned for as we finish up the Flipping the Script series. But now let's get to our ministry shout outs. We have quite a few here to shout out to. First, I just want to give a shout out that yesterday, February 1st, marked 3 years of the This Day podcast premiering.
Woo-woo!
So 3 years of the daily podcast that we do. So we have people who still listen to that. And it's funny when I've talked with people and they'll say, hey, I listened to the podcast. I'm like, oh, yeah, with Christy and I. And they look at me confused. They're like, no, like just the daily one. I'm like, oh. So we have some people who just listen to the daily ones and they find that as regular routine. So I love that 3 years now has been going and we're starting to make little adaptations and all that. Yeah. But, and so other shout outs we have coming up is, of course, CWOW. That's coming up at the end of February 22nd. There's still plenty of time to sign up for a project. Carl, anything you want to share about CWOW real quick?
Just that February is really a month that's built around mission. We start with talking about international mission and Chili Cookoff. And,
Oh, yeah.
Then we have the opportunity to do mission locally. So if you are passionate about mission, this is your chance to serve God in that way. You can sign up. There's stuff at West Campus, there's stuff at Kingsland Campus, and there's stuff all over the region.
And almost see it as like almost like an introduction to different things you could do, because we could keep serving like this well after. So maybe you get introduced to something. Maybe you go, hey, let me try this project. You do it and you're like, I want to help out at this organization more often. I want to help do this more. So maybe that can come of it. But prior to all that is Lent is coming up. We already talked about it. Lent is coming up real soon. Ash Wednesday will be on the 18th, and that marks off the season of Lent. But the things we want to talk about is pancake supper. That happens on Fat Tuesday.
It's not just a
Shrove
pancake
Tuesday.
supper. It's an all-you-can-eat pancake supper.
Yes, Christy and her, just one pancake, please.
Oh, well, I did not ask for one pancake.
After her 2 spoonfuls of chili, they're just going to expect she only wants a spoonful of pancake.
Just one little pancake.
But no. So what's happening with pancake suppers on the 17th? So what's happening with that here on the campuses?
Yeah, we'll meet on both campuses. I know the youth choir, they are the ones that make the pancakes and serve the pancakes, and they work real hard.
And West Moms does it on the other campus.
Yeah, and the proceeds go to help out at different for different ministries as well. What is the moms? Does it support moms ministry, or is it a different? Do you know?
Last year it supported Tamaron Elementary School. I need to look back
Okay.
at that and see what it is this year. But yeah, it's basically for
Cool.
Yeah.
For
It's
good
just
stuff.
It's just a good fellowship event. Come up here, enjoy some pancakes and all that. And
Carl's gonna crush some pancakes.
Yes.
Carl is going to crush some pancakes. I could
So
see
excited.
it.
And Carl's not really a carb kind of guy either, so he's going to go all out.
Do you have a Mardi Gras hat?
Carble is gonna come out.
Yeah. We're going to see him in the
Pastor
corner.
Carble.
It's like, Carl, put it down. No.
Carble loading.
Carl, we think you've had enough. I'll tell you when I've had enough. We've never seen this side of you.
People on West Campus know that on big days like Easter and Christmas, Carl's eating carbs, and Carl turns into a different person when he's got carbs. He's locked in a different way.
I love that. But yeah, it's a good time, to just get together, have a fun, a breakfast for dinner kind of thing is always good. And then we are going to that evening burn the palms that have been drying all year long.
I think they're dry now.
I think they're dry enough. They dry out. I know Carl and I have them in our offices, and so we'll take them to our respective campuses and we'll burn them to become the ash, which is the traditional way that it's done. And I really love the cyclical nature of that. It just puts...
I've always heard of that tradition, but I don't think I've ever been a part of a church that actually did it. And
Until
I love
this
that
church.
I love that we're actually doing that.
Yeah.
So I have one ash box, and it has ashes from every single year I've been a pastor.
Are you for real?
I put a little bit more ashes in it every year. Yeah.
That's so cool.
So it's
That's cool.
all the different Ash Wednesdays are in the same little Tupperware container.
Do you use those ashes?
Yeah, I put the ashes in it and I shake it up really good, and then I pour them out a little bit. So I'm getting a little bit of ashes from Rehoboth and Welltown and Old Bethel
That's
and Warrenton
really cool.
Why did I think of
and
that?
St. Peter's. Yeah.
I really love that. I
It
might start
really
that
just
tradition.
has me.
This is my first church, so
It was not intentional. It had a lot more to do with me just not wanting to throw out perfectly good ashes.
I love
I do that with
Sentimental now.
every time
Yeah.
I do communion. I save a little piece of bread and I have a little box in my office.
We call it the green box.
It doesn't really smell too good, but
Chad accidentally invented a new type of penicillin.
Oh gosh. And a little bit of the juice.
yes,
It's wine now.
it talks to me. All right, so then we get into Lent with
corporeal
Ash
rite.
Wednesday. Ash Wednesday services. We have lots of things. We'll probably go into more details as we get closer, but like things in the morning.
We got a
services.
6:30 a.m. service at West.
6:30
Yeah.
and then prayer stations at Kingsland.
Yeah,
And then we each have
6:30.
night services with fish fries
Yes.
happening before the service.
That's
Yes.
that is
So that's
this
really
brings
cool.
us full circle.
Yes.
Fish.
Our
fries,
favorite four-letter
favorite
word.
four-letter
Oh, yeah, we were
words.
talking
Yeah.
about
Favorite F words, yeah. Fish and fries.
If
Yeah.
you're still with us, now it all
Now
has
you
full
know what we were
context.
talking about. And I will say, just
I
something
love
to
it
be...
when a plan comes together.
Yeah. And I will say something else with Lent is we'll have special devotionals throughout the season of Lent written by church members and some of our church staff and clergy. And every day there's going to be a new devotional. And on the podcast, you're going to have the audio form of that. So if you listen to the This Day podcast, you get to hear these devotionals being read. And so they'll let that be a time of reflection and prayer during the season of Lent. So be looking forward to that, all starting on Ash Wednesday. All right. Well, Carl, thank you for joining us.
It's been
And,
great.
Yeah. So we'll talk about other F words and all that later on. And my favorite word is flip script.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
All right.
All right. We'll see you all next week on the Next Day podcast.
See you next time.
Bye-bye now.